Hello, I am the Reading Rainbow Emperor, and today I'm going to be reviewing Galaxy's Edge Legionnaire by Jason Anspach and Nick Cole. I hope you enjoy it. By the way, little housekeeping. I've started a Fiverr where I am a published author, I will help anyone with their literary work for money, as well as link in the SoundCloud for the um, oh my goodness, podcast version of this, as well as other links down in the doobly doo that you'll like. Let's get on with the review. Legionnaire is a great start to the Galaxy's Edge series, but honestly, it's not quite the start it deserves. First, it's a great book. Don't get me wrong. I'm complaining a 9 isn't a 10 compared to Galactic Outlaws, which will be coming in soon. It's just fantastic, though. Some of the best accessible military sci-fi this side of Jerry Pournelle. Its action is dynamic, the violence fluid, and the characterization is right where it needs to be. I kind of wish this was more of a side story, like this is the sort of hinted at past that these guys had, and then you see how the gang got together. But at the same time, again, I'm complaining that a 9 isn't a 10. On the planet Kublar, Sergeant Kohen Chun is out on patrol, ordered by Pappy, the Legionnaire's father, or close enough to it, and the disastrously appointed officer, uh, Silas Devers. Points, referred to as points. They're the kind of cancer in the Republic's military. Rather than going through the ranks or attending proper officer school or any other thing like that, they just get appointed by the House of Reason to their position with a medium amount of training necessary to kill more soldiers than it would be needed. They are ambushed, and Chun is the only one to see the chiasm, their home destroyer, be destroyed. I've got, of course, let's see here. I had that, and for some reason, it disappeared. There we go. I, I don't know why. And this is from Chun's perspective. I don't know why, but I keep watching the chiasm. There's thick blaster fire everywhere, and my focus should be on the Koob threats surrounding us. But I just stare at the destroyer almost transfixed. Call it a premonition. I see a flash erupt in the center of the chiasm. Moments later, I hear a sharp crack. I watch, frozen in place at the turret, as the chiasm splits in half and slowly sinks into the atmosphere, its sharp prow glowing red as it burns into re-entry. We're all going to die. Knowing you're a dead man, living impacts everyone differently. Legionnaires are always the last to lose heart. We don't stop fighting, ever. But I've worked on enough joint operations with Republic Army basics and PNAs, Planetary National Armies, to see the varied reaction to lost causes. Some men collapse into themselves like rotten pumpkin. They see the reaper coming up for the harvest, and they're overwhelmed with existential dread, thoughts of loved ones, regrets, you name it. I've seen these guys literally curl up into balls, pulling on their hair with their blasters tossed to the side. Others develop a take as many with you as possible mentality. Obviously, that's much better tactically than those made ineffectual in combat. Fighting is preferable to whimpering on the ground. But these types are prone to risk. They'll charge heavily fortified positions, head on, with only a rifle and a few grenades, or hold themselves up, trying to kill as many targets as possible until the inevitable final boom comes for them. While a spontaneous charge can sometimes take the enemy by surprise and even turn the tide of battle, not to mention look great on holofilms, tactically speaking, it usually resolves in substantial casualties and defeat. I said at the start that Legionnaires don't lose heart and don't stop fighting. We survive. We constantly refresh our tactics so the optimal battle plan is always in motion, and we do it well. With every shot, every motion, we optimize our results for battlefield victory. So when I say we're all going to die, I don't necessarily mean right now. Lines like that are what really keep the Galaxy's Edge series going. Just that voice, that subtlety, that little flourish, the right amount of words in the right places. Nick Cole and Jason Anspach are masters of their craft. And honestly, it shows through in all the parts of their writing. Oh, by the way, I just noticed this. These are the books I'm going to be reviewing today. But and it makes me especially come back time and time again to this series and enjoy the little parts of it that you pick up through this. I'll be reading one more section from it later. Let's see here. Over time, things go from bad to worse as Devers tries to apply diplomacy to tribal blood feuds and mucks everything up even worse than it was before. Good legies and civilians start dying. Under the leadership of Wraith, made a captain by Pappy, who's near death, they retreat to a mountain and send a message out to the unwitting Republic through a special repeater station. It turns out that not only are the Coups working with the Mid-Corps Rebellion to destroy the Legionnaires for a morale victory, um, yeah, all right, I wrote it. I read it. It turns out that the Coups are working with the Mid-Corps Rebellion to destroy the Legionnaires for a morale victory they can broadcast on the holo films and the internet out there. At the last second, though, the Republic super destroyer Mercutio arrives and fights off the MCR, saving those who they can, and wiping out the enemy, of course. In the end, Shun, Wraith, Exo, Twenties, and the Republic Basic CAGs survive as some of the rare survivors of Kublar, carrying the wounds with them into the rest of the series, for as long as they survive. Of course, like a good rat, Devers survives as well. Legionnaire fights with Galactic Outlaws for what could be a perfect start for a series like this. While Galactic Outlaws is amazing fun, dramatically excellent, and probably one of the best in the series, it builds rather than starts. In other words, it bases a lot of information and setting on Legionnaire and not on itself specifically, which is a good thing. Legionnaire's genius in its building of the universe through Chun's narrow lens. Unlike later, more expansive books in the series that occasionally kind of get lost in it with their inner depths and stuff like that, or a character showing up out of nowhere, which is good, surprising. Using a fan favorite character is always a good choice. Legionnaire focuses on Chun and how he views the world around him. It helps narrow it down enough so that we can understand what everything Nicole and Jason Ansbacher is trying to do. Even if the issues on Kublar are smaller than the awesomeness of Galactic Outlaws, or especially Attack of the Shadows, which those two are kind of tied for my favorite. I'm a little conflicted about it, even as I'm writing this, even as I'm saying it, because Legionnaire, it was the only book out at the time. If the other books weren't there, I might not be interested enough personally to read it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would probably, because everything else is kind of garbage, but a lot of garbage out there, and I don't want to read it. But uh, honestly, it's a book best read with the sequels right around it, because you can go, that's good. Ooh, and the next one's just ready for me. You know what I mean? You can really binge read this series. Just saying. I actually got it when it was Legionnaire, Galactic Outlaws, and Kill Team in one Amazon thing because I wanted to give it a try. Uh, I like grander, more. Like Legionnaire is very small, and it's like soldiers in Iraq fighting whatever. You know who they're fighting. Um, so like to me that doesn't do it much for me. I'm not a military man, as you can see, but I like kind of grander, more expansive concepts that really show up in Galactic Outlaws, because Galactic Outlaws is what sold me on the series, like wholeheartedly, 100%. Or Attack of the Shadows, which was like that it's pure catharsis. That's a fantastic book. Uh, we, let's see here. Plus, Legionnaire doesn't have Tyrus Rex in it until the very end, which is probably one of the best parts of this book. But that's okay. It's still quite exciting. It's like eating a great meal, but it's not something you like specifically, but you'd like it if it was just a bit different. Like I'm a big fan of onions, but only when they're cooked. Let's say that somebody made a delicious steak but encased it in raw onions and chives or something. Like it's on a bed of onions for some reason. Like you go to like it's kitchen nightmares, right? Gordon Ramsay's berating the guy, and he's like, "No, man, I'm gonna put this steak on raw onions." And Gordon Ramsay's just screaming at him impotently, like spewing fire from his mouth. And he serves it to me. It's gonna be a good steak, but I'm not a fan of uncooked onions. And that's as close to a good analogy as I'll make for it. Again, I'm complaining that a 9 isn't a 10 because I'm an ungrateful reader like that. Modern problems require ungrateful solutions. The best part about Legionnaire is straight up the scene where the old Legii tells Exo the story of General Rex. I want a novel of just that. I would buy that novel, hardcover day one sort of thing, of just from Tyrus Rex's position, him going it down into the pirate fortress to capture the girl. I'll actually probably do a reading of it in a separate video, but not right now. I don't really have the time. Despite everything I said, I like this book. It's a fantastic book, but I love Galactic Outlaws better. Uh, but certainly try Legionnaire. Try Galactic. If it's not your flavor, try Galactic Outlaws. And if you don't like the series by then, I don't know what I can't do anything else for you. I've done my best. These are my two aces. This is my ace and a 10. Blackjack. And if it's not good enough for you, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'll talk about this more in my next review about Galactic Outlaws. And I love that book. All right. To all the Legionnaires out there, kill them first. KTF. And always make them pay. Link to the Legionnaire down in the doobly-doo. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You're all wonderful. Have a good evening.